When I first bought my truck, I tried to buy a parking space at Thermo King. That didn't quite work out, but I at least spoke to Don there and we chatted a bit. Despite any big brand rivalry competition in the market, I know that transportation as a whole comes together, okay? So the biggest brand you see out on the road is Freightliner Cascadia. And I have some ideas why I think that's true. I think that companies can't trust drivers with PACCAR or Cummins, especially with the turbo being on it. If you have the software to rewrite your computer or something. But I remember Cascadia showing me outstanding service until I was in Chicago. And I'm not entirely sure how all that came about, but around the same time that the industry came up with that seniority rule that the people that been around need to be taken care of first, people like me and others were pushed on the back burner of service and other things. And ultimately, I see that as something that is disruptive and going to backfire against them. One of the main reasons why I went with International and Cummins, because I knew Freightliner basically does not see me as a valued customer. Freightliner does not see me as a valued consumer of their brand. So it's to the point that they have begun to not support me and probably are against me. I do believe wholeheartedly that Freightliner wants to take me out of transportation. And I saw the same changes in Pilot as well. But there is a difference between Pilot and Freightliner. And I think that ultimately Pilot would try to step up and correct the situation better than Freightliner would. But I may have to lump the two together. Now, there may be a few other brands in trucking that I think will work against me. But at this time, what I see, Freightliner, and I'm not even going to talk about brokers. I've worked with a few companies that every time when I ran their load, they always gave me problems. They always try to put me to the bottom. You know, people want to criticize and make you be the worst driver. And, you know, especially the situation happened with my truck. Freightliner finally proved it when there were no fleets overseeing my decision making and it was just me and Freightliner. They failed. And they proved that they don't give a damn. They're not trying to take care of me. They're not trying to look out for me. So that's going to be on them. And we'll see what else comes. But at this time, yeah, Freightliner proved to me that I'll never buy their trucks, man. Like, after what happened, when I tried to get service through them for my truck, and they want to lie to me and act like they'll do it, they didn't do. No, I'll never buy their trucks. Like, if I wound up being a fleet driver, I'd tell the company, hey, look, what do you have beside Cascadia? I'm not driving a Freightliner. I might not even drive company just because of the damn situation, you know, because they have become selfish, man. They have become greedy, overzealous, and they have abused their authority, period. So just wait till Freightliner sees this and they try to, you know, try to work their corporate magic over the top. That they'll probably say like, oh, he was nothing and he didn't affect our business in terms of sales, and we have some of the greatest customers and some of the greatest fleets, blah 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 blah. But I mean, still, you know, you decided that I'm not someone you want to take care of, and that's okay, because I'm a rep Cummins, I'm a rep PACCAR, you know. I'm gonna see how Kenworth feels, I'm gonna see how Peterbilt feels, I'm gonna see how International feels, period. You know what I'm saying? And then the fact that Mack Truck works with Freightliner, that's kind of fucking off Mack, because Mack Truck is like an American thing, bro. So they got me fucked up, because now it's like, well, Mack, how do you feel about Freightliner? Because Freightliner does not give a damn about Brian. So who you rocking with, Mack? And Mack's probably gonna have to stick with Freightliner, but you never know. You know, but I'd be damned if I go to a Freightliner dealer with a Mack truck, even if they work on Mack. And, you know, Detroit diesel is a good engine, but it's the fact that they're in Freightliner. So now it's like, well, how do you feel, Detroit diesel and Mack and Western Star, that Freightliner has decided that I am not of value and they do not want to take care of me? Let's get to business, bro. Look, I already done spent 10 grand on fuel. You think I'm playing? You think I'm not gonna get dealer service?